Welcome again to Reflections on the Community and its Cultures. This time around, a look at some autism programs and an end-of-school report. Later, Tri-County's Teresa McVeigh will talk about autism and the programs to deal with it. First up, ICC's President Daniel Barwick will survey his first year on the job in the community. That's coming up on Reflections. On this segment of Reflections, we welcome Dr. Daniel Barwick, who is, just finishing up the first term at Independence Community College as president of the college. You came in when exactly?
I started August 1st last year. It's amazing.
Okay, so you've had the full year, in other words, then. That's first and second and a little bit of the summer, too.
Right,
huh?
the full academic year, because our graduation was this past weekend, and at the end of this week, essentially, the campus will be a lot emptier than it is now.
Right, for a while, and then it'll get busy again, of course, when the summer comes. So you've been with us for, again, a school year, which is, has it seemed longer than a year or shorter?
Much shorter. Wow, much shorter.
You came in from New York State, from Upper New York State, and you mentioned, we've talked on the program before, you mentioned that your family was interested in coming to this area. Has it been what you expected? Have there been surprises?
Yes, although pleasant ones. Why don't I name two?
Mm-hmm.
One relates to my family, which is that, you know, anybody who has children knows if you're relocating somewhere, that the coin of the realm will be the experience they have in the schools. Mm-hmm. And the school district here has been absolutely fantastic. You know,
Great.
One goes to the new elementary school, the other goes to the middle school. And in both cases, you know, the teachers are fantastic, the administrators are conscientious, the kids they meet are, you know, good kids who really make them feel welcome. And so it has made all the difference in terms of relocating our children. I think from my own perspective, the thing that I probably wouldn't have guessed in advance is something that's a little hard to describe. I think if people have lived their whole lives in Independence, they may not understand the level at which the average community member here is engaged in the community, usually on a volunteer basis. One of the strangest experiences I had since I came here was reading for the first time the program of Niwala, which is this glossy, thick book, and you open it up and you're flipping page after page, and each page are these group photos of all the different committees of people who worked on Niwala. And some of these committees are dozens of people. Mm-hmm. And you're flipping through and you're thinking, who are all these people in this community of 9,500? Mm-hmm. You know, it's unbelievable. I think that the level of volunteerism in the community, the level of engagement is really remarkable. Great. And I think that it's what makes Independence unique, in the sense that there is so much going on here, and it's because the people here, it's not like they're going out and hiring an outside consultant or somebody to make it happen. The people here make it happen largely on their own dime, and it's really amazing. The effect is truly astounding, because we have, in a community of this size, we have activities here that you just don't normally have in communities of this size.
Yeah, we're very proud of our community in a whole lot of different ways, you know. And of course, we grouse and groan too, but
they are, right. That's everywhere.
You mentioned her daughter, of course. She's been on the program as well as doing some magic with turning our programs into web videos, and I will admit I haven't seen any of those, because I see me in the mirror in the morning.
I should mention that there's been over 550 views of your program on YouTube because of that.
Good stuff. So Niwala, obviously a big event that happened on your turf was fairly recently here concluded, and that was the Inge Festival.
Well, you know, the Inge Festival is the primary event that happens as a result of the William Inge Center for the Arts on the ICC campus, and I don't have to explain, you know, it to anybody locally, but I can share how it looked to somebody who's going to that festival for the first time, and it was really interesting. I was really curious, because there are very few festivals that actually celebrate playwrights, so that by itself is a very unusual niche. Plus, this year, the festival that we just ended, we premiered a William Inge play that had never been read before.
Right.
And it was absolutely amazing to sit there in the audience and hear these lines spoken that had never been heard by an audience, lines of undeniably high quality. I really couldn't believe, performed by outstanding actors.
Right.
And really, for me, that set the tone for the whole festival, which is really about celebrating the theater, celebrating excellent playwriting, and showing people what's remarkable about the theater by bringing in outstanding actors to perform outstanding works in the theater. Yeah. It's really remarkable. It's just another example of things that happen here that you don't even find in the very largest cities. Mm-hmm. It's really remarkable.
Yeah, and again, that's something else that that your institution is extraordinarily proud of and should be. As president of ICC, this year has been what to you, aside from just learning?
Oh, it's been incredibly rewarding, and the reason why is because of the people at ICC, the employees and the students. ICC has a lot of great things about it, things that honestly we don't do such a good job of telling people outside of ICC about. And I've watched this year as sort of we identified and celebrated the things we do well and strategized together to how to bring those pockets of excellence to greater and greater numbers of people. I loved working with the employees. It sounds pandering to say the employees are really outstanding, but I'd have to say that time and time again, I marvel at the hardworking, conscientious employees we have. They really care deeply about the institution, and in many cases, of course, they've been there for a very long time. Right.
You celebrated some of the longevity aspects of the college with a faculty staff banquet recently. And again, a number of the folks who were at the college for a number of years were back for that, came back to join in that celebration. And there have been some awfully good people. Again, I was lucky enough to be one of those people for a while too. Speaking of people at the college, there's been some important people movement at the college. I mean, you had a couple of positions that were being filled. I'm not saying that they were being cheated, but they weren't being filled with full-time folk, and now at least one of those is, right?
Yeah, when I arrived at the college, we had people in interim positions, mm-hmm. In leadership jobs, particularly the Dean of Students and the Dean of Instruction.
Correct.
What we did was, shortly after I arrived, we restructured some of the college to streamline the administrative processes, and then at the same time retitled those positions to vice presidents. I should, by the way, make it clear to the taxpayers who are watching that the increase in title from dean to vice president didn't come with additional salary. But we were really just trying to adopt the terminology that's used elsewhere in higher education. We then began a national search for what had been called the Dean of Instruction, which we now call the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Mm-hmm. We did a national search, dozens of applicants, screened it on several levels, and ultimately settled on someone who I think will be a transformative figure on the campus, a woman named Sarah Harris, who we stole away from Labette Community College. She has done at Labette some remarkable work, and she made an incredible impression on us at ICC about the kind of value that she could bring to the campus. And the reason why her arrival is particularly important is because this is a jumping off point for academics at ICC. And if you'll just indulge me for a minute, I'll explain what I mean.
I'll give you a minute.
Thank you. We not only, on July 2nd, we'll have a new Vice President for Academic Affairs, mm-hmm. but that's really just, that's just one person, that's just one administrator, that's just the leader of the academic side of the house. But what we've tried to do over this year is completely refocus the campus on academics. We have dorms, but we're not a hotel. We have sports, but we're not a sports camp. We have a dining hall, but we're not a restaurant. We're a school. Mm-hmm. And if you want to convince people of your value, if you want to really develop what's unique about what you do, it's going to be about the quality of instruction. Bringing a new vice president on board is really just the tip of the iceberg. The really important work that we did was to negotiate a 3-year, a nice long-term contract with our faculty, because it's the faculty that are the primary providers of that thing, that we offer our constituencies, that education. And they, because they're at the front line of that primary product we offer, we need to assure them so that they can plan for the long term. We need to assure them what their salaries will be, what the conditions of their employment will be. We need to make them happy, comfortable, valued, well rewarded, well recognized. When you do that, the best people will stay, you create stability, you create longevity. This is what higher ed, this is the environment in which higher ed flourishes. When you think about the way education works, it's not like buying a car where you walk in and you're in the dealership only for an hour or two. When you go and buy an education from a college, you're making a multi-year commitment to be physically present in some way in coursework. You're assuming that that college is stable enough to have your program for years to come.
I would say, incidentally, you mentioned a multi-year contract with the faculty. I, of course, was on the faculty for a long time and negotiated some of those contracts, and I still have good contacts on the faculty at the college. And basically what they've told me is that this was one of the very best negotiating seasons they had.
I'm glad to hear that.
They actually had the feeling that everybody was speaking the same language. And I know that's, that is owed partly to the head of the administration there. So I think something's going right. Very quickly, what else is coming up very quickly at ICC?
Well, I think that over the next year or so, what you're going to see from ICC is a seriously ramped up level of engagement with the community.
Good.
The reason why it's a community college is because it is supposed to be, the primary higher ed interface between the community and the college. And I think that what will happen over the upcoming year is we'll take the infrastructure that we've built, the additional academic quality, the people that we have in place, and we'll find more and more ways to engage the community. I can't overstate this. The truth is that we're a taxpayer-supported institution. And although we serve our students well, we have more constituencies to serve than just the students. And so ultimately, for the taxpayers to see real value, they need to see that the college is woven into all the different aspects of their lives.
Indeed, and that's an exceptionally important job that the college, I think, has not done quite as well as it should.
I agree.
And I think it's something that deserves your focus, and it sounds like it has your focus. Dr. Daniel Barwick is president at Independence Community College. We appreciate you being with us and giving us a year one report.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We'll have more coming up on Reflections.